Well, would you believe it that it's been 25 years since this blue memeable ball was created? Yeah, I wouldn't either. This hedgehog was in the 90s very popular and started one of the biggest rivalries ever in gaming history with Mario. And then they hated him when they changed his eye color or something, because Sonic fans are cancers. So I've decided to pay him homage by reviewing one of his games. And since he had his anniversary as mentioned before, I figured out that this is my perfect chance to start game reviewing career like a big loser. At least that's what Encyclopedia Dramatica thinks. So happy birthday, Sonic. Sonic Unleashed was supposed to be comeback after the failure of Sonic 06. The game was released on Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, and PS2. The PS2 and Wii version was made by a different company named DIMS. Yeah, the same people who made Sonic Advance Trilogy and Sonic Rush games. When the game was released in November 18, 2008, the game was received with mixed reception, and people still argue whether it's an amazing game or a complete piece of shit. So without any more time wasting, it's time to check this game out. So the game starts out with a cutscene that shows Dr. Eggman, or Dr. Robotnik, whatever you call him, doing his plans to do a cliche plot, taking over the world. Then we see Sonic, and then he goes after Dr. Eggman to stop him while dodging and destroying shit. Then Dr. Eggman catches him by using his long arm machine, but then Sonic turns supersonic and he starts to chase Eggman. It may seem as if Sonic is victorious, but then he gets captured, and then he turns into one of the things that most of Sonic fans didn't appreciate about this game, the Werehog. And after that, he shoots the beam from a cannon that looks like a penis and separates the planet into pieces. Not only that, but he also launches Sonic into goddamn space so he can go back to Earth and die. But he survives the fall. Don't ask me how, I don't do game logic. And then we meet this character who suffers from amnesia, another cliche plot, but Sonic decides to help him to find out who he really is.
I'm hungry. Hey, don't worry. I'll help you get your memory back. Really? You mean it? Absolutely.
Later in the game, Sonic calls him Chip.
Chip?
Because he likes that ice cream special.
Chocolate chip sundae supreme.
You said it. Enjoy it, kiddo.
After they talk to some people in Apodos, Sonic sees that Tails is in danger.
Hey! Settle down, guys! Come on! Help!
And he decides to attack these monsters just to help him. Then Tails tells Sonic that there is a person who might tell him how he can put the Earth back together.
I think I know someone who might know something about what's going on here.
Oh, really?
His name is Professor Pickle, who also likes cucumber sandwiches.
How dare they call this culinary concoction food? Look here, do you see this sorry excuse for a sandwich? The bread should be no less than 3/4 of an inch thick. Upon it, 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise and a pinch of black pepper.
He tells Sonic in order to put Earth back to its original state is going to temples and restore the power to Chaos Emeralds.
Luckily, Dark Gaia has yet to be fully reborn. We most likely have Dr. Eggman's premature wake-up call to thank for that. If we act now, we may be able to restore the planet by returning power to the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic, you must travel to each of the temples listed in the Gaia manuscripts. The planet's power will restore the Chaos Emeralds, and in turn, the Chaos Emeralds will restore the planet and help it heal naturally.
So they travel from continent to continent to find temples and do their objective to save the world. The story is pretty good and has very good moments like the friendship with Chip, and the cutscenes look nice even though they're copy-pasted cutscenes from the HD version. The problem with the story is that the comedy is a piece of shit. The jokes in this game felt forced and not funny at all. Yeah, I know it's a kid's game, but even some other kiddie stuff like cats doing stupid shit is more funny than this. So yeah, not the best story, but it's pretty good story at least.
Here we go!
The gameplay has two parts, daytime stages and nighttime stages. The daytime stages are fast-paced levels with platforming. They have the simple get from point A to point B objective. Sonic also has abilities from HD version which are Quick Step, Drop, Drift, and the Boost. But the boost works here different than the HD version. As you can see, the boost bar is split into pieces rather than whole bar. Since it's in pieces, you can't hold the boost button till it drains out, but rather spam it. It may kinda seem as a problem due to tapping the button over and over so much it may make your finger tired. Oh, but that's nothing. Because when you press the button, Sonic's voice actor, Jason Griffin, makes a sound that sounds like he's pushing shit down the toilet, and it can be very annoying! You also have 2D gameplay style in daytime stages which are throwback to the classic Sonic gameplay style, just like the HD version. When you complete the stage, you're awarded with the Moon Medal, which you can use to get extra lives and extra content like music and cutscenes. The best part is that it's not used to unlock other levels, so you don't have to worry about that stupid shitty Sonic Moon Medal hunting from the HD version. The controls in daytime stages work pretty good. They respond well, and it has very good feeling to it. If you get used to it, that is, because the problem with them is the turning. When I push the left stick to the left or to the right, Sonic turns more to the direction I wanted to than I needed to. And the drifting in this game, it doesn't feel good like I drifted in other Sonic games such as Sonic Generations or even the HD version of Sonic Unleashed. How drifting could be bad though, you may ask? Well, sometimes when I drifted, I fell from a platform straight to my death. That's how bad it can be. One final thing about daytime stages is that there are mission-based levels. You have to simply do certain challenges to unlock nighttime stages, and you're rewarded by Moon Medal for completing them. Enough of daytime stages, because it's time to go into nighttime stages. In the nighttime stages, you play as Werehog, because when the sun goes down, he'll transform into that form. Nighttime stages have gameplay of beat 'em up style, but they also have some platforming. To finish them, you just have to complete the stage by getting to the goal ring. Simple as that. Just like daytime stages, you're awarded with the sun medals that can do the same thing as moon medals. You can also grab on poles and climb on ledges by pressing the R1 button. The fighting mechanics work like this. You punch by pressing the square button, but the circle button is also the punch button, which is useless in my opinion since usually I use the square button. I mean, doesn't everyone usually use the square button as a punch button in the beat 'em up games? Because I usually do. I would be okay if the circle button was, I don't know, a cake button. But no, it's a punch button, which again is in my opinion, useless. You can also grab stuff and throw them. And you can use the special move by pressing the triangle button. You can also do this grab attack by holding R1 button and pressing the square button or the useless button. The controls for nighttime stages are okay. When the Werehog is walking peacefully, it works fine. But there is also dash movement from the HD version, and the execution in this version is horrible. I swear when I use the dash movement, it feels like I'm on ice. This can be a problem because if you play bad, kinda like me, you either fall off cliffs or platforms. There are also boss fights. They are just like the HD version, and they are fun. I won't spoil the final boss fight though. One final thing I'll mention is the hub worlds and Gaia gates. The hub worlds in HD version are explorable cities based off real countries in the real life. In this version, however, they are just the menu style hub worlds. They are boring and they waste your time till you get to Gaia gates. Speaking of Gaia gates, this is how you can get extra lives, getting into another country Gaia gate, and opening boss fights. So the gameplay overall is pretty fun. I like the daytime stages most, but I also like the nighttime stages. What I had much fun from daytime stages is the platforming, challenge, and definitely the level design. It was so greatly designed because I could use features from HD version and they worked very well here. What I liked about nighttime stages was the gameplay style and the gameplay of nighttime stages itself. The beat 'em up gameplay with platforming was so amazing it really reminded me of God of War games. The punching in this game felt so good, and when I did the grab attack, I felt amazed. Sure, there are flaws to the gameplay like the drifting and the Werehog slippery controls, but I still like it so much. The graphics to this game are okay, but nothing special. I mean, Sonic Mario looks good here, but the problem here are the textures. They don't look as good as I thought they would. Like there are other games that were released in 2008 on PS2 and still had good graphics. The music in this game is amazing. Seriously, this is one of the best music pieces I've ever heard. Like the daytime stages and nighttime stages, they have different feeling. Daytime stages are fast paced and upbeat, but the nighttime stages are more slowly and calm, but it still sounds amazing. I like the Apoto's daytime stage music, Spagonia daytime stage music, Apoto's nighttime stage music, the boss fight music from daytime stages, and so much more. The one that is annoying though is the one when you have to fight Dark Gaia monsters. Why? Because whenever you encounter them, this theme plays a lot. It got annoying when I heard this song again. It plays so much to the point
I want to die.
For the sound effects, they sound pretty nice, clear, and the boost sound effect is the one I like the most. The one sound effect that I don't like is the when Sonic is boosted and says, especially when you spam it. Like I understand you don't have to use the boost, but I also like to beat stages pretty fast, so I had to use the boost really fast. The voice acting in this game is pretty good. Jason Griffith is amazing as Sonic.
Yeah, this is the real me. Pretty cool, huh?
Tails sounds pretty good too.
Really?
Professor Pickle over at Spagonia University. I came to this city to gather some data. If we add that to his research findings, we might be able to get to the bottom of all this.
The one that I don't like is the Chip. I agree with the statement that he can be annoying with his lines, especially when he asks if someone wants the chocolate.
Want some chocolate? Want some chocolate, Professor?
Sonic Unleashed is a very enjoyable game. Even though it's a downgraded port, I still had fun with it. The story is pretty good, gameplay is amazing, controls were great even with its flaws, music was pretty amazing, and overall, it's a very good downgraded port. I know that the PS2 version doesn't have shit on the HD version, but if you don't have enough money to get those versions, or you just don't have the PS3 or Xbox 360, or if you just want to buy this game even though you got the 7th generation consoles, I would say go for it. I still can't believe how Sonic fans reacted to this one change that just doesn't even affect the gameplay at all. Like it's not that big of a deal. By the way, Hillary Goldstein, you really fucked up.
Crooked Hillary, 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 crooked Hillary.